Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be taking the movement out of this stainless steel Garrard case. We're going to take a few movements out of a few cases because that's what you've got to do before you start restoring watches. And well, that's it, it's the place to start and take them apart. It's a nice stainless steel case, it's screwed back, it's engraved there on the back, presentation watch in 1963. Gives you some idea of how old the watch is. Sometimes they might say 1963 on them, or 53, and they could have been made a couple of years earlier. Might have been made late 50s. It might have been made that year. And we're just going to unscrew the back. And again, the back's quite hard to get hold of, so you can just use a bit of blue tack to get hold of the back, and then you don't drop it. Inside the back of this watch is why we've got it is there's a dust cover in the back, so you might take the back of the watch and be faced with this. This dust cover might just fall off. You might just tip the watch and it might come out. It might just come out in your hands. If not, it's tempting to get your screwdriver and go in the back with a screwdriver. It's not really a good idea. If you go with a screwdriver and it still doesn't move, it might have never been off, and some of these dust covers kind of snap on. So you've got to be pretty careful at this point, because you don't know where the balance wheel is. If you're not ticking, if you've got no idea where it is, or you've not taken one apart before, you can go in at the side of the case, lift it up. It might come up a little bit, and then you put your screwdriver in. You could catch the balance and damage the balance, and then it's game over before you even started. So just get a piece of blue tack, you try it on the back and lift it off. I'm not saying that'll work all the time, but that's the best way without damaging it. You don't want to put your screwdriver in, you're going to scratch your dust cover, scratch the inside of the case, or maybe the thread. If you were going to go at it, use a cocktail stick or a bit of pegwood that you fashioned into a shape that you can get down the side. Again, you don't want to put if the dust cover was on there, you don't want to put your pegwood in down the side and catch the balance as you lift it up. So be super careful. You can always try and put your pegwood in this side where the crown is, because the crown's going to be there, and the ratchet wheel and the keyless winding under the dial, so you know the balance isn't going to be on that side. And then you can just take it out with a bit of blue tack. And then there's two case screws. There's one at the top there on this one, and there's one at the bottom there. Sometimes they're either side, sometimes they're around the side of the case, basically. Around the side of the case, around the side of the movement. And the other thing we need to look at is this little tiny screw here. Which this tiny screw holds the pull-out piece, which is on the front side of the movement, and it holds the stem in, which holds the crown in, and the movement won't come out with the stem and crown in. So what you've got to do is loosen that little tiny screw, and what you're going to need is a little tiny screwdriver. And if you use a screwdriver that is wider than the screw, it's going to damage the side of either side of the screw. It's going to damage the plates. It's going to scratch the plating off the movement, and it's going to look terrible, and you'll be devastated. So I'm just going to loosen that off, if I can see it. I'm just going to give it like a full turn. You don't want to unscrew it and unscrew it like you're trying to screw it all the way out, because it is screwed into a piece that is on the front of the movement. If you keep unscrewing it, the piece on the front of the movement will just drop out, and the screw will drop out, and it'll move, and you won't be able to get it back in. So it's like a full turn, and then try the crown, and then just do a half turn and a half turn. Now the other thing that can happen is it has come out, but the other thing that can happen is the screw can need pressing in to pull the crown out. I'll just tell you what I mean. So at this point you'll need 3 hands, so I'm just going to put a bit of blue tack on the paper and squash the movement down, and that's going to hold the movement for me. And then what you need to do is press the button in. Well, it's acting like a button, it's actually the screw. So you've given the screw a turn or half a turn. I can push that in. Did the crown move? See, the crown does move a little bit when I push it in. So what you've got to do is push the screw in, which is acting like a button, and then pull the crown out. But like I say, you'll need 3 hands, you'll need something to hold the movement with. In fact, while it's stuck on the blue tack, I'm going to undo the case screws. Well, I'm not, because my hand will get in front of the camera. Again, you want a screwdriver that is no wider than the screw, because again, you're just going to damage things. So we're going to pick it up for you. Actually, there's the screws. Just simply take them out. And they're quite long, because sometimes they're almost as long as the movement. And they're one of the biggest screws on the movement. It's a pair of tweezers if you've got a pair of tweezers. If you haven't got a pair of tweezers, again, just a bit of blue tack, and it's going to pick the screw up for you like that. Super simple. You don't have to try and get your fingers in there. You pick it up with the tweezers, it's going to fire out your hand. That is a dirty, horrible bit of blue tack, sorry about that. I'm just showing you how to do it. And then there's the other screw. Obviously you'll have a clean bit of blue tack, and you'll pop them in your little box somewhere. And again, you shouldn't touch the movement. It is in a case ring. There again, I didn't realise that. There's a ring around the movement, which is probably holding the dial in. So we're just going to take that out carefully. Again, I'm just going to use a cocktail stick so I don't damage it, and get that out quite carefully. And there's the movement. It should be the case screws are out, movement rings out, the dust covers out, the stems out, the crown's out. Now, you shouldn't really put on your fingers, but I'm just going to turn it over like that. I'll take the blue tack off here. And then that's just going to drop out like that. 8 minutes. Can't believe how long it took. I did it as quickly as possibly, quickly as I possibly could. There's the dial of movement. We can take the dial and take it apart and clean it. And there's the case, so you can clean the case. I hope you've got a Garrard movement you can take apart and play with. I hope that's helped someone. It's helped me a bit. I hope you find a vintage Garrard watch and do it up. Or if you don't do it up, if it doesn't need doing up, all the best. I hope this helps someone. See you in the next one.